Nice to meet you. My name is Lorenzo Carpanè. I'm from Italy and I am a member of the Italian body of ISO. The name is UNI, U-N-I, and I represent Italy, but I am a member of UNI as a partner of a company I work with. It is Palestra della Scrittura, and we are specialized in plain language. I also teach Italian linguistic in University of Bolzano, Bozen, which is a town in the near the border with Austria. And I wrote some books about plain language, but also novels and also about mountaineering. I like mountaineering, so that's what I do. What do we do in Italy for plain language? Well, the Italian body, UNI, is trying to spread the knowledge and the use of plain language in Italy, especially in the public sector, and with a particular focus on the use of plain language in insurances contracts. The reason is that the Italian authority of insurances some years ago adopted a European Union directive that devoted to implement the plain language in order to have a much clearer relationships between clients and the companies. And so in Italy we helped, me and my colleagues at the national authority, to make a research in order to understand what is the level of the plain language in these contracts. We did it twice, one in 2022 and another one this year, in order to check if in this period there has been an improvement of plain language. And in fact that was. And at the same time we had the Italian Association of Insurances we wrote exactly the guidelines for plain language in insurances contracts. I must admit that we have difficulties in, especially when we talk to the political level, in order to push the government and the parliament to adopt also in Italy a law for plain language. We don't have but a specific law, but in many laws, for example, a law regarding the customer's rights, there are some indication in order to use a plain language. And also in the academic sector in universities, more and more there are colleagues of mine that are really interested in teaching and explaining plain language to the students. But we have a lot to do yet, and we are now trying to lobbying all the authorities in order to implement it. I must also admit that private companies are interested in it because they see that if they use a plain language with their clients, with their customers, they obtain much better results. I give you an example. One of the most important Italian power supply company asked us to help them to simplify the answers they gave to their clients while having a complaint. And they measured the results. And the result is very interesting because they found out with a long research they did over a large amount of clients that after having used plain language communications, the recontact rate went down about 60%. So a very big result. And at the same time, the reputation of the company went higher. So this is a clear example of how plain language is a win-win policy, because it is useful for the clients because they understand, for the customers, for the citizens, but at the same time useful for the company because they reduce their expenses. They made a calculation about how much money they spare, and they found out that more or less in 6 months they would have a reduced expense about of 200,000 euros. That's a lot, of course, that's a lot. So there are many different situations, but we are moving on. And having behind us ISO, and in Italy, you and I, and other colleagues of mine, well, that make me think that we have a positive, good possibility in the future to go on with plain language. But at the end of everything, in my opinion, is that if we promote plain language, we do something very important for all citizens, not only for customers, for clients. Because if a citizen, if a person can understand laws, any kind of regulations, any kind of communication given by any kind of authority, the feeling of being part of a community, of a state, of a nation, that feeling goes up. And so every citizen, every person can trust in the state, in the government, much more than now. You know, in this moment, truth to be said, well, the relationship between the Italians and in general, the government, the parliament is not so good. So we can also do this, I think, magnificent job with plain language that could help us also about the concept of citizenship.